Hello everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the upcoming offseason for the Jacksonville Jaguars from a cap standpoint. So to get right into this, according to Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero, the league's total salary cap is set to increase from 2021, where it was at $182.5 million, to $208.2 million, which is a large increase after the cap has fallen the last two seasons due to COVID-19. So, going by these numbers, the Jacksonville Jaguars would have the third most cap space in the NFL next season. So, according to these numbers, the Jacksonville Jaguars would go into this offseason with $70.2 million in cap space available, which is third in the NFL, only slightly behind the Dolphins and Chargers. But one negative about this is they will also have the third most in dead money at $17.8 million due to a couple contracts. But having $70.2 million to spend this offseason, it'll allow the Jaguars to go after re-signing players like Cam Robinson, DJ Chark, Taven Bryan, and many others. As well as they can even maybe go after a larger free agent like Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson, or anything along those lines. After taking a value approach this offseason, it didn't really make too much of a difference for the Jaguars. But many have to understand the Jaguars were still looking at a rebuild year, and I think that's why they didn't go spending money like the Patriots did and stuff like that. TRENT BAALKE really took a smart approach to it, even though the Jaguars are 2-10 right now and are obviously out of playoff contention and such. They still have a generational quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, and they also still have a lot of cap space to work with this offseason, as well as multiple building blocks on this team already. If the Jaguars are able to nail this offseason from a cap space standpoint and get players that they have to get with big names, as well as re-signing the current talent that they have. So at the top of the list will be Davante Adams, the Green Bay Packers wide receiver, who has made it somewhat clear that he's more worried about being paid than staying in Green Bay. And, I mean, Davante Adams is probably a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL with elite route running, elite hands, and he's easily a number 1 wide receiver no matter where he goes. Another one on the list that the Jaguars could definitely go after is wide receiver Allen Robinson of the Bears, who, I mean, we already talked about it this past offseason, but I will touch on it again. He's one of the best contested catch wide receivers in the NFL, and he's also having a down year, which could, in long-term sense, help the Jaguars get him at a better deal, because when healthy and when used correctly, Allen Robinson is easily a top 15 wide receiver in the NFL. And there's just no way about it that he should not be producing as a number 1 wide receiver on any team. The Chicago Bears just simply do not know how to use him. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are actually listed as one of the best fits for Allen Robinson coming this offseason. Not only does he have a history with our team, but he also would fit our scheme amazingly and giving us that true number 1 guy. And if we re-sign DJ Chark, having Allen Robinson on one side and Chark on the other would be an amazing wide receiver duo for Trevor Lawrence for years to come. Another one that we looked at this past offseason that will be a free agent once again after being franchise tagged is safety Marcus Williams of the Saints. Now, he's had a slightly worse year this year than he has in years past, but he's still a consistently impressive player, and he's one of the most versatile safeties in the league at this point. He's great in zone coverage, great in man coverage, and he's one of the best free safeties when it comes to making plays on the ball. He can help any team that has mainly a too high safety look, which is what the Jacksonville Jaguars use most of the time when in zone coverage. So if you put him on this team, as well as you have Andre Cisco step up, or you have another guy step up in the other safety position, you could be looking at a very good safety duo for years to come for the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. And another one with Marcus Williams that I like is he's still extremely young. He's not one of those old, like he didn't come in as an old rookie. He came in at, I believe, 20 to 21 years old into the league. So he's still only in his mid-20s at this point, and he still has plenty of years left in him of high-level football. Now, this is probably my favorite one on the list for the Jacksonville Jaguars to go after for obvious reasons, and it's going to be Brandon Scherff, the guard from Washington football team. Now, this was his second consecutive franchise tag in the past 2 years. Scherff is easily a starting guard in the NFL, and he's honestly one of the best all-around guards in football. He's reliable in pass protection. He's a great zone run blocker. The only thing he has been struggling with recently is his durability. But if you put him on almost any O-line in the league, he's going to produce better than most. And I think that's especially important for us, because if you plug him in at either guard position for us, he would not only help our run game, but also help protect Trevor, which is extremely important. But with that being said, I'm going to look into wrapping up this video. I just wanted to do a quick touch on what is upcoming for the Jacksonville Jaguars this offseason with a cap space standpoint, and just a few of the many names that they are going to be able to go after. I will of course touch on many more names, but this is just a small brief description of a few of the top guys to keep your eyes on. And without further ado, I'm going to wrap this up. So leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and as always, peace out, Duval.